Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host, the Natty Teacher. And today, we got our first leg workout of the week. Now, today is much more focused on absolutely blasting the quads. We'll have some direct calf work at the end as well. And then we're heading home and going from there. Half-hour cardio, already logged, guys. You know the drill. Fasted cardio every day of the week but Sunday. That's just how we do. That's how we do. We got to get that. Got to keep that cardio in. Keep that cardio game up, even in the off season. Arguably, even more important during the off season, man. Okay, half-hour sessions. Nothing super crazy high on the resistance profile. Just using the recumbent bike, treadmill, walk outside, elliptical, stair step, or whatever you want to do. Just keep that cardio in. You know what I'm saying? At least a couple days a week. You don't have to do it like, I do it 6 days a week. You probably don't have to do it 6 days a week. I just prefer to do it 6 days a week, to be honest. But, anywhoozle, yeah. So again, really more of a quad blast than anything. Open up with some single leg leg extensions. Of course, this is post a little bit of mobility work. So open up with some single leg extensions, then move on to hack squats, and then we'll go on to our leg pressing after that, and close out with some sissy squats and our calf work. And that's it. Yeah, that's about it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, man. A couple squatting patterns, a couple leg pressing, or a leg pressing and an extension pattern. Nothing super crazy, guys. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. The basics work. So just really focusing on depth, really getting, deep and good full ranges of motion, really stretching those quads out without hurting the knees, of course. So, anywho, top set of single leg extensions coming at you right about now. All right, so first exercise on the docket, we got a good old single leg extension. This has become one of my go-tos and actually will still be a consistent staple in my next training cycle. So right now I'm a couple weeks ahead, or a week or so ahead of my upload schedule. So right now I'm actually currently started into a new training schedule where I've kind of mixed up a few exercises, variations, angles, all that kind of fun stuff. But for now, I've been mixing up quite a few exercises and things and using different ones, that I'll be using for the next 2 6-week cycles. But this is one that will actually stay in there. So you'll see this even more. I found that doing this unilaterally, where you're doing one leg at a time, seems to really help with regards to getting the most out of that quad activation. So we did 2 working sets there. I would highly recommend keeping it in that 10 to 20 rep range or so. Then we got some hack squats. This one on this particular day felt heavy. This was my 6th heavy week of training. Did end up adding a rep, but there were some reps that were not like perfect by any means. But depth was good, range of motion was good, all that kind of fun stuff. So for the most part, I was happy with this set. I will say it was, it felt sticky. And what I mean by that is it just didn't move quite as smooth as it has in the past, but I was still able to add a rep, grind it out, and go from there. So again, usually I would try to shoot closer to that 8 rep range or so. I believe we hit a total of 7. What you will notice in my next training block is with this hack squat, my feet will actually be quite a bit lower on the pad and a little bit closer as well, as we're trying to bias the quads even more so. Yeah, but no, still felt really good, nice and hard and heavy. I got no complaints with it. 2 working sets here. So we did drop the weight. It was, I believe, 10% after this one. Rep that bad boy out. So tough set, though. Very tough set. Then went to our close foot leg press. You guys know the drill, man. Nice and hard and heavy, and getting as much range of motion as we possibly can on this bad boy. Again, really bringing it down to the point where the heels are essentially touching like the bottom part of my glutes. We are getting a ton of stretch on this bad boy, and really getting a humongous range of motion. I found that for my quads, this seems to really help and having those bad boys blow up a little bit. So again, feet nice and close. Again, same concept. next training cycle, you actually see I'm going to be doing a unilateral leg press. So the weight will obviously be significantly less, but range of motion and getting that good stretch and good depth will definitely still be there. Of course, I would highly recommend keeping this exercise as well in that 8 to 15 rep range or so, and really focus on getting that nice deep stretch, deep range of motion. As long as it's not bugging your knees, you keep going deeper. Not to say, you want to find out where it bugs your knees, but as long as it's not bugging your knees, I would highly recommend trying to get that huge range of motion and put as much tension on the quads as you possibly can. So really grinding it out here. Really trying to, do as much as we possibly can within these couple of sets. 2 working sets here as well. And felt really good. Nice, hard, and heavy. And we went from there. So I believe this is my last rep. Let's see. Yes, as we grind that bad boy out. There we go. Contemplate life here for a moment as we hold the weight up. There we go. Then some sissy squats. I do use a cable attachment here, like a rope attachment, to help me kind of stabilize a little bit. And I found that this really helps while still really keeping a ton of tension on the quads, of course. So this one, because it's body weight, I definitely would recommend keeping those reps a little bit higher. Again, 10 to 15 reps at least, and going from there. So really making sure we're getting that nice range of motion, bringing those glutes down to where they're touching the calves, and, coming back up. So this felt really good. I've been digging this one again. Duck, my boy Duck. I appreciate the recommendation, and definitely will continue to keep this as a staple for my quad workouts to go. I'm not sure if this will be my next training block or not. It may be, but I'm not 1,000% sure. I'm going to have to see exactly where I'm at as far as total volume spread across the week and what that's looking like as I move into this next training block here. As I'm actually currently started it today, but you guys won't see the videos for this for maybe another week or so, pretty close to that. But great session overall. I actually did not train calves here, so I did train calves the next day. Got to keep those calves in, man. No less than 2 to 3 times a week for calves. Same thing for direct abdominal training as well. I like to alternate them, so I'll train, like today I trained calves. It's a Sunday. Tomorrow I will train abs. Leg A session in the freaking books. Great workout, man. Great stuff. I'll tell you, that was a grueling workout, for sure. No doubt about it. Very grueling, very challenging, per usual. I would say as far as physical exertion goes, that is probably my hardest workout of the week, because it's, some squatting. You got to remember the meat and potatoes of that workout are heavy squats, heavy hack squats, and then heavy leg press. So it's just a lot, man. It's a lot, put it that way. You feel it, put it that way. It's just you feel like those kind of movements are almost like whole body movements. Obviously they're not, but they are taxing, man. They are very physically taxing. So, regardless though, great session. Great session. Added a rep to our top set. I will say, and I think I'll probably talk about this or have already talked about it in my voiceover, but I did notice with my hack squats on my top set, not so much my back off set, but on my top set, my heels were coming up a little bit. I could feel it just a little bit. I could just feel it. So it was one of those days where it was really good. And I really pushed hard. I'm like, all right, I know for sure I'm going to match my top set of 6, but I was like, I'm going to really have to push for a top set of 7. And I was able to get that. So that was good. And I was very happy with that. But it was just one of those things where, definitely felt it for sure. Definitely felt it. So got a big old 4-way stop there. But no, great session, man. Great session. Added a rep there. Added 10 pounds to my back offset. Still hit that for a clean 10. Added 10 pounds to my top set of close foot leg press. Still did that for a good clean set of 10. And also 10 pounds to the back offset. Hit that actually for 16. So last week I hit my back offset 10 pounds less for 15. This time I hit my back offset with 10 more pounds and did 16 reps. So that was awesome. So that was cool. So nice improvements there. Single leg extensions went up 5 pounds. Added a rep to the back offset, matched the top set. Sissy squats, added a rep to both working sets there. It's everything and more you would want, man. It is everything and more you would want from a training session. So good loggable good loggable progress, still keeping technique tight with, again, few adjustments that can be made for next week, but if you're trying to be perfect every single time, man, you're going to get so caught up in being perfect, you're never going to be able to actually make true progress. So remember that. Remember that. If you live in that minutia of perfection where everything has to be this and it has to be perfect and your heels can't come up at all, it's like, relax. Sometimes it's going to happen. It's going to be totally fine. You're still going to blast that muscle group, especially if you're hitting depth. It's great, and you're controlling the weight. You're doing great. That's awesome, okay? And just recognize that, yeah, every once in a while, something might feel a little off. Maybe, again, maybe your heels came up a little bit. Maybe your feet shifted around a little bit and you had to readjust mid-set. That's okay. That's totally okay. In fact, I'd say it's actually a good thing to an extent, because it reminds you that you're not perfect and that you can strive for as close to perfection as possible. But if you're really so hung up on trying to be perfect all the time, you're never going to make real progress. You're going to hinder your own progress. Now, I'm not telling you to go into the gym and just slang and bang weight and do all that and do terrible form and injure yourself or whatever and just do awful. Of course not. Of course, I'm not recommending that. But I absolutely am recommending that if things are not always 1,000% perfect, that you readjust. Do it again next week or a couple days from then or whatever it is. Have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, there's no point. You gotta embrace it, man. You gotta embrace that imperfection sometimes. But anyways, next video after this one will be our second push day of the week, which will be tomorrow for me, but a couple days for you guys after this. Make sure you like and share the video. Let your friends know that the Natty teacher is back in school already in our 4th week of school. Crazy stuff. Make sure, if you have not already, that you subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me as we continue to grow. I really appreciate everybody hopping on board. It, really does mean a lot to me. So it's, awesome. And I'm so glad that you guys are coming along on this awesome journey with me. This makes it that much more enjoyable for me. And yeah, but for today, I'm going to go pick up my kid. I can't wait to see her smiling face. I know she's going to be super psyched to see me. And we're going to head home. I got a decent amount of food I got to make tonight and get all packed up for tomorrow. And that's about it, man. Nice chill evening of some food prep and hanging out with the family. So I'm excited. Anyhoozle, for today though, this again, one of many episodes of our Road to Natty Pro series is out. I am the Natty teacher, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. What was that? Whoosh.